Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
Labor has opened fire on the government, accusing it of moving to scrap a committee examining proposed firearm laws. The opposition says the committee is now in limbo following parliamentary delays caused by the resignations of Adam Brooks and Reen Hitting.
I do have concerns that now the architect of the policy, Reen Hitting, has resigned, that the government may be trying to crab walk away again from this policy.
The government has rubbished the claim.
This shows that Shane Broad clearly is not listening. The government has publicly made a clear commitment that all committees will resume once Parliament commences next week.
It's maintaining any new laws will not undermine the National Firearms Agreement. A gas scare from Launceston's Bogues Brewery caused several streets to be shut down early this morning. Emergency crews arrived at the scene shortly before 8 a.m. to find carbon dioxide leaking from a large storage cylinder. Contact with the liquid is dangerous and inhalation of the gas can cause asphyxiation.
As a result of that, the area was isolated and technicians from Bogues Brewery, Tasmania Fire Service, have isolated the valves and the area has been reopened to the public.
The leak caused only minor disruptions and no injuries were reported. In the latest of a string of funding announcements, Independent MP Andrew Wilkie has secured $2 million from the federal government to upgrade playgrounds around Glenorchy. Community leaders say new facilities at Giblin's Reserve at Goodwood will bring people to an often forgotten part of the city.
It's not going to be so secret from now on, but yeah, it certainly puts us on the map and boosts the community pride in the area.
Works are expected to be completed by late next year. A group of boaties was paid an unexpected visit by some curious and rather large onlookers off Bruny Island yesterday, with a pod of orcas swimming right up to their boat for a closer look. The pod is making its annual migration to the River Derwent and D'Entrecasteaux channel, with the video posted on the Tasmania Facebook page already gathering more than 100,000 views. Thousands of festive foodies are once again descending on the Huon Valley, sampling the best of the region's fresh produce and fine wine. And the Mayor says a taste of the Huon couldn't come at a better time as businesses continue counting the cost of a devastating bushfire season.
From squid to salmon, cider to fine red wine, a taste of the Huon is once again tantalising taste buds. Mayor Beck Enders says the 27th event is a boon for the community, with many visitors coming from interstate to enjoy the show.
During this time when the taste is on, there's always a lot of accommodation is full, so it's not just having people here on the couple of days. People are actually eating and exploring outside of that as well.
Judges spent this morning scouring the site to find the region's master chef. That honour went to Sarah Anderson for her fruit pies made from all local produce. She's made 600 of them so far, but they're proving so popular she's heading home to make 600 more.
I don't add sugar, I let the fruit speak for itself. Things are over-sweetened today and a lot of commercial pies, fruit pies, will be over-sweetened. The fruit will be sweetened. So mine's just the natural fruit flavour.
The event continues tomorrow, so it's not too late for food fans to head south.
Oh gosh, there's so much produce here. We were on diets, but that's out of the way now. Forget that. Yeah. They're our favourite. We're on a mission to find the best one.
It's so Tasmanian that it's so local and everybody's just really kind and really nice and, you know, happy to have a chat when you're waiting in line, and yeah, it's great.
Andrew McCarthy, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's road racing state championships have roared back to life after a long 19-year absence. The day was a chance for young riders to snare a title, and there was no shortage of veterans slipping back into the leathers.
When it comes to racing with a torn hamstring, Tony Oliver has a trick up his leather sleeve.
I have trouble getting my left foot up on the peg, so the guys have devised a couple of hockey straps that I hook onto my boot.
On the track, the 70-year-old is a force to be reckoned with.
friend of mine's a paramedic ambulance, and he just looked at me and shook his head. He said, I don't know what you old blokes have to do to keep riding, but you take the cake.
Then there's Eleanor Renton in the starting grid of her young career.
I'm not expecting anything too much today since it's my first race, but I didn't finish last, so that's a plus.
Although the 16-year-old did find herself at the back of the pack a little later on. It's the first time in 19 years Tasmania's motorcycle club has been able to hold state championships. Lower costs and more riders have helped it make a triumphant return to Symmons Plains.
Great to see it come back. I can remember when I started in the early 70s, we had fields of probably 50 or 60, so we're sort of getting back to those levels.
The day wasn't without dramas. One rider had to be taken to hospital with minor injuries. But with more than a century of history to the club's name, there's hope the titles will stay on. And Tony will be back with his lucky strap.
As long as I can pick this foot up on the peg, I'll keep going.
The next round of the championships will be held on April 14. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
The wait is finally over. This Friday, love will well and truly be in the air when Strictly Ballroom takes the stage of Launceston's Princess Theatre. Today, the cast joined the band for its first full dress rehearsal ahead of the opening night. The musical by the Encore Theatre Company is the adaptation of Baz Luhrmann's 1992 award-winning film. The show runs for 3 weeks until March 30.
It was a clash of the NPL newcomers between Glenorchy and Riverside at Windsor Park overnight. The Knights striking early in the match, going on to make it a 2-goal buffer come the half-time break. Riverside clawing one back in the second, but it wasn't enough to curb the visitors' momentum, finding the back of the net 3 more times to come away the 5-1 winners. It was a golden night for Australia's best triathletes at the World Triathlon Series in Abu Dhabi, as Tasmania's Jake Birtwistle helped the national team beat out the USA and New Zealand to secure top spot on the podium in the mixed relay event. And Tasmania's best swimming talent has gone head-to-head at Hobart's Aquatic Centre, battling it out over 5 days for the State Long Course Championships, with more than 500 swimmers vying for a spot at next month's Australian Championships in Adelaide. North West Coast motocross rider Kyron Bacon has done the state proud at the Australian Open Road Championships in Toowoomba. Up against the best enduro riders in the country, Bacon won both round 1 and round 2 in the under-19 category, finishing up in 12th and 10th place outright.
23 degrees today in Hobart and Launceston. Bruny hit 20 degrees after a cooler start with 21 in Devonport. 24 was the top temp today for Friendly Beaches and Campania. 23 on Flinders Island, 22 for Fingal and Grove, 21 for Cressy, Scottsdale, Smithton and Strawn, with 20 for Wynyard and 19 on King Island. Extensive cloud on the charts visible over most of the state today. Further out shows a prefrontal band over Tasmania and Victoria, with the frontal band to the west extending over the Bight. Low cloud over the eastern coast with tropical convective activity through the north. Tomorrow, a cold front moves to the east of the state, while another front crosses southern waters. A ridge builds over southern Australia, with a broad low dominating the remainder. On the waters, west to southwesterly winds, mostly 15 to 20 knots, tending west to northwesterly early on before increasing to 15 to 25 at midday and reaching 30 about the west, the south and the northeast. Seas mostly around the 2 metre mark. There is a strong wind warning current for northeastern, southern and western waters. Onto the forecast, sunny in Hobart, 22 tomorrow, 20 for Dover, ooze 22 with a few clouds, sunny through the north, 22 in Launceston, 20 in Devonport and Scottsdale, 20 in Bruny, light showers there for Strawn, 18, 19 for Stanley, with 23 degrees for St Helens and Ross, 21 at Swansea. And the UV remains high right around Tasmania. Showers expected about the north, the west and also the far south on Tuesday, extending statewide later. Fine for most parts on Wednesday, just some light showers there early on in the west, with similar conditions on Thursday, just light showers heading far south as the day progresses. Looking around Australia, mostly sunny in Perth tomorrow, 29 degrees, 29 also for Sydney, 23 in Adelaide, 24 and cloudy for Melbourne, 36 in Brisbane with 33 in Cairns and Darwin. And a cloudy evening around the state, 22 in Hobart, 20 in Launceston and 19 in Devonport. That's all from me, Louise.
Wonderful. Thanks for that, Sam. That's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.